Good morning, friends, over on YouTube and Facebook. Just waiting for Instagram to catch up. Here she comes. There we go. Now we got some Instagram action. You know the thing that's been sitting on your to-do list for a week? Well, I finally got mine done yesterday, and now I got a whole new set of problems. Good morning, friends. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. Wherever you are from, let me know where you're from and what you're working on in your acting career today. I finally got my outreach email sent to the casting directors on my database about Daddy's Little Meatball, the short film that I'm one of the leads in that's been selected for the Tribeca Festival this year. Very prestigious, very exciting, and I'm really proud of it. And I got an outreach email sent to casting directors, letting them know that that the screenings are coming up, that I would get them tickets if it's, just let me know with link to the film's, sort of page on the festival website so that they could see the details of it. And if they wanted any tickets, that I'd be happy to get them for them. So it took me time because I wanted to individualize each email to each specific casting director. I know that the biggest turnoff when industry folks get emails is feeling like it's not specific to them, that it's just a generic. So I took time with each email. So it took me a little while to get it done, but it's done. It's done. Casting directors know that I am the lead in a film that's in the Tribeca Festival. So that's super cool. But once that was off my plate, and I had to start thinking about my strategy for the festival. Good morning, friends. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. Let me know where you're joining me from and what you're working on in your acting career today. So I'm going to be, as far as I'm aware, I've never had a film at a film festival before. So I'm not sure what strategies, so I don't have an existing strategy for attending film festival or utilizing a film festival to its fullest potential. So I've been thinking about it. And because our short film is part of a program that gets screened, I think 3 times during the festival, which is almost 2 weeks long. So we have a good spread over the festival. But I know that if I, for example, go to an event, whether that's a screening or a panel or a Q&A session, and I get talking to other folks, they may not necessarily be able to attend one of the 3 screenings that will feature our film. So my idea, and I proposed this to the producer, was that we, create a QR code so that people could, access the QR code and watch the film in a different format venue, whether that's a Dropbox or Vimeo or whatever. But of course, what I didn't know, and the producer says, great idea, but of course, what I didn't know is that the film has been accepted into other festivals, and therefore it is not allowed to be distributed. A lot of the condition of being in a film festival is that the film hasn't been distributed. So if it's available on Vimeo and people can watch it there, then it's already been distributed. And of course, one of the points of these film festivals is that you expose people to your film so that they can buy it, buy the property and distribute it on their platforms. So that was the strategy that I didn't know that that our producers had. So, you know, I'm glad I proposed it, because if you don't if you don't say anything, then you don't know, right? Um, so I was able to talk with them about that, but then it made me focus on, okay, so what is my strategy for? Hey, friends, welcome. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. So, I've sent out this email to all these casting directors saying, if it fits with your schedule and you'd like to come to see Daddy's Little Meatball in the Tribeca Festival, let me know and I'll organize a ticket for you. So then that makes me think, so what do I do? Do I buy 6 tickets to each screening of to each screening of the program that Daddy's Little Meatball is a part of, so that I can make sure that I have tickets available for these casting directors if they decide they want to attend. If I don't hear from any casting directors, which is, let's be honest, the most likely situation, if I don't hear from them, do I then, reach out to directors that I know, other casting directors who are not in film and television, but who may want to come, just to make sure that I'm spreading the word and the love about what I'm up to and my viability in the industry, that I'm in a short film, I'm the lead in a short film, I want people to know that. So, hmm, so coming up with a festival strategy, and then I start thinking about, well, okay, what other screenings do I want to attend? How much is that going to cost? You know what I mean? It's like, I think being an actor, if you have unlimited funds available to you, is one thing. But if you have a house to run and a family to provide for, you got to be more selective. I got into a little bit of I didn't engage, but I got into a little bit of a TikTok conflict in the comments section. Hey, friends, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. There was a creator on TikTok who had said, I have seen this show on Broadway 4 times, and I've seen this show. Is it 4 times and 3 times? No, it's 4 times. And so then I've seen this show for a few times, and I have tickets for this show and this show and this show. And I'm a producer on this show. And guys, I just want us all to be able to be nice to each other. You can just be. You don't have to say that you hate. If you support one project, you don't say you have to. You don't have to say that you hate the others, right? I support that sentiment. You don't have to hate on any shows on Broadway. Getting a show to Broadway is an achievement that should be celebrated. It just came across to me, it was like, who the hell's got all this money to go spending on? I can go see a Broadway show whenever I want to, and I've seen this 4 times and 3 times. I'm like, some of us have to be selective about how we spend our money. And so I said that in the comments, and she's like, yeah, but I don't think you have to hate on people just to hate on shows just because you support one. I'm like, totally agree. I didn't engage. I wasn't going to say, that wasn't the point of what I was saying. What I was saying was, you're clearly in a tax bracket where you can afford to, you know, support as many shows as you want. The rest of us have to be a little more selective. I didn't engage. I took the higher path and just said, I totally agree. We can be kind. I did my best, y'all. The other thing that was engaging me yesterday, I did a recording for a demo of a new musical, which is super interesting and pretty difficult. When you're doing a musical that is based partly on Stravinsky, it's not necessarily an easy ride. So it took me a minute. I wish I'd had more time to sort of really, really engage with the material. But I did my job, took my coins, and then I had to make sure I'm trying to get ahead on content schedule, because I'm going away. I'm taking a little vacation, so trying to get ahead on my content, and I think I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what it's like when you make a commitment to engage and post and provide value every day, as I do right here at the Working Actor NYC. Whether or not that's in a live format like this in the daily, or whether that is in pre-recorded content that I post to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Snapchat. Yay for vacay indeed, summer. So I will be here. I'll be back here tomorrow because we don't leave until later tomorrow morning. But then won't be back doing the daily until Thursday of next week. So I'm excited to spend some time with some dear, dear, dear friends and my godsons, and I can't wait. And actually, just to be honest, just sleep in. Is that terrible? All right, friends, that's what I've got going on today. Whatever you've got going on, hey, friends, thanks for joining me on the daily, the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. Whatever you're working on, remember, you got this. Keep going. I will be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. and I will see you all then. Thanks for being here.